You know when you miss work for a few days, you come back, you may feel a little sluggish. That was essentially the performance of the New Orleans Saints today, and after coming off of a bye week, well, things just weren't going in their favor. Man, what a night in the Palace last night. The Bolton Bears officially grabbed their first district title since 2003. It's been a long time for these ladies, but the season is not over just yet. So, of course, I had to ask, who's the best quarterback, you or your dad?
You know, my dad maybe didn't get to see the greatest side of it on the team side of things when it came to pro sports.
Hard life for defensive linemen, but what I did learn is that you always have to read and react. A very emotional game for the Gina Giants, falling to the Lake Charles College Prep Blazers in overtime, 28-26. Head coach Jay Rourke told his guys after the game with so many high emotions, "Look, guys, you have nothing to be ashamed about. You played your hearts out, and it's something you should be proud of." After taking a loss in last year's state title game, the Manny Tigers went to work immediately with a chip on their shoulder. Now, after an undefeated season, the cherry is on top as they defeat the Kinder Yellow Jackets 16-13. I joke about this now, but the year of the Minnesota Miracle was actually on my birthday. So after that pass to Stephon Diggs, I definitely went to go cry in the car. And okay, speaking of scoring points, Joe Burrow said we can come out here and drop 40, 56. You seeing that tonight?
I do. They'll score 40 points.
Slow start for NSU, going scoreless in the first two innings, but soon picking it up, doing very well at bat offensively, putting together 16 hits on 10 runs. Yeah, guys, the Generals opened up the second half of their conference play, honestly just embarrassing Texas College Steers. As you can see on the score right here, the guys annihilated these guys 117-92, but we're going to talk about the ladies setting the pace first. Covering the national championship from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, I'm Megan Glover for ABC 31 Sports.
1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Nice, 1-2, 1-2. Good, 1-2, 1-2. Beautiful.
MMA is not just about the big punches. It's about consistency, love, and desire for the sport.
Man, I love what I'm doing. I love this sport. I do. I love it. I've met a lot of people. It changed my life.
What started off as a casual conversation in the gym began a new lifestyle for Calvin.
I was just in the gym one day, and I heard another guy talking about MMA. You know, this is back when it hit the scene. It's starting to get real popular. And he was like, man, wrestlers make really good fighters. You know, them the guys that make you fighters. And I'm just hitting the weights, and I'm listening to this guy. And I was like, I said, man, I used to wrestle.
In the late 2000s, he made his trips throughout the fields of construction and firefighting, but he learned that fighting and fitness was where his heart was.
So if you look at the time, 2006, I've been fighting about 14 years. So I've been fighting about 15 years, but I've been a professional about 14.
And with his contagious passion of the sport, in comes Jose and Julius.
I've been fighting probably since I was like 14, but never professionally.
So
Just fighting in the streets.
It's pretty cool just to be in such a unique situation in life. So fight February 29th and also playing college football, plus school, plus marriage is a whole different ball game. It's a lot of stuff to do, but it's fun.
All three of these guys will represent Alexandria in the upcoming AKA Rite of Passage fight at the end of the month, this being the first of many for Jose and Julius, and Calvin will take on another fight later on in April.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I like it. I'm gonna keep going forward and see what's going on, see what happens. It feels good to represent Alexandria too. You know, I've been here half of my life, so I love it.
It's fun. It's different muscles that I'm used to using. So it's always intense. I mean, the warm-ups, just we get sweating right from the get-go, and then we go into whatever workout he has for us. The fighting, just doing the rounds on rounds, and the wrestling and jiu-jitsu over and over again. It's very intense because you also got to use your mind.
Granted, mixed martial arts is seen as entertainment, is so much more. The desire will allow someone to learn, but the passion will allow someone to grow.
You can look at fight in a negative way. You could, just like you could anything else on this planet. But if you have the heart to look for the good in anything, in MMA you will find it. And when you find it, you grow to love it. And once you grow to love it and the people around you grow to love them too. So I love this sport because of the people that it's brought me to be around and the kind of respect that I should give to my fellow opponent. And 9 times out of 10, he's giving it back to me too.
You know, we did some things that maybe wasn't expected, did some things that this school hasn't done, you know, maybe ever in some instances, and some instances hasn't done in a really long time.
And he's been there through it all. Dillon Baird stepped on the field as a player about 14 years ago, finishing his senior season in 2010 at quarterback, where he racked in over 2,000 all-purpose yards.
I had a great time going to school here. This program, even back when I was playing, we had some success, but we never had consistent success.
With those days behind him, he then moved on to play at the collegiate level at both Lamar and Ole Miss. But once finishing college, he couldn't stay away from Grant High School too long. He became an assistant coach with the Cougars in 2017.
Always want to see your alma mater, be successful. Being off at college and playing, and then moving back, you keep up with where you went to high school and stuff when you're out of town and then off at school, and then you come back and in my instance. Started coaching here.
He paid his dues until something new came up. Baird says that once the head coaching position became available, there was no question on him dropping his name in the hat. Now, after his first year and helping lead this team to a historic season, there's no ceiling to this program's success for years to come.
Coach Allman retired. He was here for 5 years, I believe. 3 of which I was here. There was an opening. I thought it was best fit that I kind of transitioned in that role. It wasn't anything, like I said, nobody really knew what was going to happen, what was going to take place, but I think it was good.
And it was. The Cougars were on a roll, winning their first 3 contests before losing their last 3 in the regular season. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they were out 2 games but landed a playoff spot at home, the first time in school history.
The year as a whole was a success in my book and in our players' eyes, and we did a lot of things that I'm proud of and that our players are proud of and that we can build on going into next year.
Now continuing to build the foundation at Grant and knock off some goals, Baird says he's learned a lot about himself in year 1.
Patience is a big thing. You want to jump in and you want to have all this success, and you want to do all of these things right away, and so understanding that those things take some time. Not that we can't have immediate success or we can't have things happen immediately, but ultimately things, it takes time. And so for me, I've learned to be a lot more patient.
Reporting from Grant, Megan Glover, ABC 31 Sports.